Big.
Our season's on the clock.
Our future's on the clock.
Our legacy is on the clock.
NFL draft, Detroit Lions, Chicago, Las Vegas, Pittsburgh Steelers. Like,
Yeah!
That's the one!
That's the pick!
A.D. Mitchell.
Okay.
I would kind of call him a poor man's Keon Coleman, who I looked at last week. But just getting into the tape, he's a Georgia transfer from Georgia to Texas. So I like that a lot. You know, he's a known winner. He's been in a pro program, played under Todd Monken in Georgia. Finished last season with 55 receptions for 845 yards, 11 touchdowns. I like him. He's got, like Keon Coleman, a wide catch radius. He can go up and make plays. He's not the most explosive player off the ball, but he's got the ability with his route running and his frame to really get open and make plays for his quarterback. He's a good piece to use on go routes, post, intermediate, and deep crosses, something that we kind of frequent a lot in Baltimore. So he would that good route running foundation would be critical here. Like I said, playing in the Big 12 and in the SEC, he's played against pro talent week in, week out, top-notch defenders. So I like him a lot because of the value you can get for him late. Like you can see he's making similar plays to Keon Coleman, but you don't have to use that first-round value on him. His length is great, but he's got some issues with run blocking, and we talked about that in college. More effort thing. You get in the right system, the right coaches, they'll teach you how to properly block. So that's not really something that I'm going to hold against him. But he's got the ability to really attack the ball at the high point. And that's what I really like about him.
Just looking at this tape, bro, he's making some splash plays and he's catching the ball with his hands, the web of his hands, which is the first thing I like to look at in a wide receiver. Not going up with his body. He's going up and attacking the football. And he has a lot of wiggle to him too, which
long and lanky.
Shows that yak ability. Woo,
yeah. Hands.
Noticing the trend, Keith. You want you a tall receiver, don't you?
I want me a physical extra. I want me a physical guy outside.
It's 3 weeks.
Like I
three
really
weeks
do.
in a row.
Yeah, I really do.
So he couldn't outsnap George at Georgia, huh? You want poor man's George? I get it.
I forgot what the poll was, but they ranked our offensive weapons like 29th out of 32 teams or 28th out of 32 teams, one of those two numbers. And some Ravens fans were up in arms, but some were realistic. They were like, well, outside of Bateman, outside of Andrews, Likely, and Zay Flowers, what exactly do you have that isn't replacement level, right? Bateman, he has potential, but you can't win Super Bowls off of potential. You gotta go out there and do it. And then we don't got no running backs right now. We have Justice Hill under contract. We have Keaton Mitchell on the men, but other than that, there's a lot of uncertainty in that backfield. And there's people out here trotting out Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. Like nobody's looking at our running backs like, oh shit, you got them horses over there. So Keith has been heavy on wide receivers, but it's kind of a necessity. Like you wouldn't think of it as a necessity on some of the other positions, but when you actually look at the offensive repertoire we have and the people and weapons we have in place, it could use some upgrades. It could definitely use some reinforcements, 1,000%.
And when I look at, and I'll keep going back to it, but the AFC title game, like I need wide receivers that can get open and make plays for their quarterback. And that's what I need. And I need a guy on the outside that can do that. We got a guy on the inside that can do it. Ford is great at it. But I need somebody at that X position that can really do that. And that's why I've been putting such an emphasis on this week in, week out. We don't have to get that guy in the first round. And I'll show you that as we go week in, week out. It's other options as we get in a day 2 and day 3 where we can get comparable production. So, but I think A.D. Mitchell, like those Georgia, Texas guys, they proven winners. They come from pro programs. So I'm high on those guys. And playing out of Sarkisian's got great offensive background. He's got some consistency issues, but I think that just comes down to volume and how he was getting the ball at Texas. I think he'll be more of a focus in the pros.
I like it.